Explanar has huge benefits for senior golfers. Obviously, as we get older, we lose a bit of distance and we lose a bit of power. But with Explanar, we can turn back the years. Now let me explain to you what happens with the senior. Really, it's not a physical restriction, it's more a mental restriction. We get more cautious. So we go to the first tee, and rigor mortis sets in the fingers and the forearms, and we lose our wrist hinge. When you're mid-50s to early 60s, that doesn't really damage you. You're strong enough. But as you approach your mid to late 60s, the strength isn't there, but the wrists are still stiff. And then the left arm starts to bend. And that's even more power loss. If the left arm bends, we're in real trouble. 2 or 3 seasons of doing that, and the final indignity is you go and then you walk after the shot like that. How many times have you seen senior golfers do it? Now the reason for that decline is stiffness in the wrists. Yes, it's physical, but it's mainly mental. So let's use the power roller to see what we can do. It's another great reason for the weight of the roller being heavy. If the roller was light, we wouldn't work the wrists. So, taking the power roller correctly, building a grip. We start the swing, of course, with the shoulders and arms in this fashion. But it's so important now to set the wrist hinge earlier in the backswing and to lubricate the wrists. They've got to be oily and free moving. Now, you won't lose accuracy. People think that if you wrist it, you'll be less accurate. It's not true. As long as you use the Explanar to make your work in plane, you'll get more speed. So the wrists are hinged fully on this side and the hinge fully on that side. If the wrist hinge and the shoulder turns, the left arm doesn't bend. If the wrist don't hinge, that's why the left arm bends. Wrist hinge and shoulder turn make sure the left arm stays straight and we can release the wrists as freely as we want. It's one of the great things about Explanar, to get a golfer of, say, mid-60s to 70s, and in only a few minutes give him back yardage he had a decade ago.